Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Career Power session brought to you by Kalido and the Subid community. I'll talk a little about both, about Kalido and Subid community in a while. I'm your host today. My name is Subid Chakrabarti, and today we are going to be deep diving into how to future-proof your career in the age of AI and Gen AI, uh, how you can understand your real skill sets and gain clarity in actually what leads to action in your career. And all of this is brought to you by Kalido and Sawit community. Kalido is an AI powered talent platform which enables democratization of opportunities. And I am a member of Kalido, and I will bring in a guest who's an expert in this field today, who I will be introducing shortly. Sawit community is an endeavor we started a year ago. Sawit stands for South Asia Women in Tech, and this is the largest women in tech community in the world. We organized one of its kind learnathon in September last year. We followed that up with a hackathon earlier this year, and then we closed it with a celebration in T-Hub Hyderabad. You would have seen the posts from Sawit and Kalido about it. This is an energized community of young women in tech who are taking on new challenges in the field of technology, women who are on the cusp of starting their career in the field of technology, or women who are at mid-level or are planning return to work. Sawit community is for everyone. And Sawit and Kalido together have created something which is going to change the way you look at your career, the way you action on the recommendations that this particular product, this particular tool brings to you. And we'll talk about it. With me today, we have Bhaskar Kedia, who has over 2 decades of work experience in the field of career development, upskilling, as well as careers. Bhaskar has been deeply involved in building the LvLUP tool, which is the tool that we're going to talk about today, and has spoken with hundreds and thousands of users, young professionals, mid-level professionals, and even senior professionals who have used this LvLUP tool in the development phase of it and have given us very valuable feedback, which we'll discuss today, and that has made the tool what it is today. So we'll greatly learn from the experience of those hundreds and thousands of users, as well as Bhaskar's experience. Bhaskar, thrilled to have you on the show.
Hey, thank you. Thanks a lot, Subid. Great to be on board, and nice to be talking to all these users. It's great to be here, and let's see what all information are we able to spread about this remarkable tool called LvLUP.
Absolutely. So, Bhaskar, before we get into the tool itself, it's important for our viewers and our listeners to understand why was this tool needed, or why the genesis of LvLUP. So, if you can give us some background as to how it all got started.
Great. I think it's you bring in a very valid point. What was the need to have LvLUP? Because quite often a lot of users ask that there are already so many tools which are available in the market. So why LvLUP? I think as you rightly spoke about South Asia Women in Tech at the start, it was actually in these group chats that we figured a lot of users said that, if you really want to solve a real live and burning challenge, then one challenge that we face is that we don't know how to decide on what career option is best for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk about this problem, the users were talking to us from the whole length and breadth of the country. So they said that, you may be based in metros, urban cities, and you have the luxury of reaching out to career counselors. But imagine someone who's in a tier 3, tier 4 town, like let's say hypothetically a Mathura or an Ujjain. I'm not saying people don't understand technology there, but all I'm trying to say is that they don't have access to quality career counseling, which is possible there.
Sure.
So what we were trying to do with LvLUP was to try and solve this problem for these young people. And when I say we are trying to solve this problem, we are not just trying to solve the career counseling problem. Another problem that this user group said was that, whatever options are also available are also very straitjacket. So I might have, let's say, hypothetically done commerce in my class 12th. but now I want something else. So the only option when I talk to my teachers or people who are my mentors is that, okay, you've done commerce, so now you can pick up maybe a CA, or maybe you can become a CS. So they don't talk about what are my interest areas, what do I wish to become, what are my career aspirations. So they said that we are looking at something which looks at me in totality.
Sure.
I think that is one problem, Subid, that we are trying to address through Level Up.
Yeah.
Having
And
said that, yeah,
go ahead.
and having said that, when we talk about the product, you'll see there are very intelligent things which are built in the overall steps of when you use Level Up to generate your own counseling report, which
Yeah.
help a user understand all these interesting aspects about oneself.
Sure. And Bhaskar, I mean, what you said is that LvLUP is solving for this problem that you heard from, hundreds of users from our Savit community, even beyond that you spoke to, got their feedback, and all of this went into the tool. I personally tried the LvLUP report for myself, and I think I've mentioned this to you offline that it was really eye-opening. When I was a young professional, let's say 15 years ago, if I had a platform or a tool like this, I think I would have greatly benefited from it. The thing that I like personally about LvLUP is that it is something that is unique to me, right? And that's where obviously the use of AI and Gen AI comes in. But it's unique to me. It understands my profile, my aspirations, my experience so far, and then it gives me a structured pathway to take my career forward. It's not random, or it's not straight jacketed, as you said. So with that, I felt if I had this report 15 years ago, my career could have been on a very different track. And obviously, we
Don't
can
worry,
say
you are
it
not
got.
alone. Don't worry, you are not alone in that thinking. But I
Yeah.
think you bring up a very interesting point. And in a lot of my conversations, when someone poses this question that what is Level Up,
Yeah.
I answer this question by trying to explain what is a GPS. A
Yeah.
Level Up is a GPS of opportunities, as we like to call it. And how is it a GPS of opportunities? Just like the way, for the users who are looking at this YouTube live, a GPS is a system, a constellation of satellites, which tries to pin down the exact location of a person. So latitude, longitude, that tells you the exact position.
Sure.
GPS is usually used for vehicles, it is used for aircrafts, it is used by ships while they are navigating. Now, Level Up is supposed to be a GPS of career opportunities exactly in the same way. So just like an ordinary GPS tells you your exact present location, and then if you add a Google map to it and you say, okay, right now I'm standing at India Gate. I'm a Delhiite, so I'll be able to take Delhi
Sure.
examples. Please bear with me. So if I'm standing at India Gate and I want to go to Gurgaon, then when I put that in Google Map, it tells me this is the route that you can take. If you go by a car, this is the amount of time you will take, and this is where you will face a jam. You should take this route. If you take a metro, you will take this much time. These are the metros that you will have to change in between. If you go by a two-wheeler, this is the amount of time that you will take. I think the same analogy applies to Level Up.
Yeah.
Exactly in the same way, it tells a person where exactly are you standing right now in your career position.
Sure.
And if you have an aspiration in mind, so let's say I want to become a CEO of a company few years down the line. There's
Sure.
everyone has aspirations. So if you have an aspiration like that and you input that, you give that to this tool, then this tool is able to tell you that, Bhaskar, this is where you are. If you want to become a CEO, this is the route that you should take. This is
Sure.
going to be your career progression. This is the amount of time you will take. And it throws up whole lot of information, which I have spoken to so many users. They find it just unimaginable, the depth of information that it offers.
Yeah. Yeah. And the report is extremely detailed, comprehensive, voluminous even, and a lot of people when they look at the report, it's easy to get overwhelmed. So there is obviously a beautiful summary that comes in. There is a guide and navigation that takes you to the report. Bhaskar, if you can give us a little bit about what does LvLUP contain, a little bit of an overview of the report, and then maybe we can, if you can show us the report live as well.
Absolutely. So why don't we do one thing? You brought in a very pertinent point, which was about the fact that users, especially students who've just finished their schooling and are stepping into college, or students who finished their college and are now looking at getting their first jobs, typically would come back and say that they find the report a little too overwhelming. So as you rightly said, we are trying to break it into smaller chunks. There is a summary section which is getting introduced. But even before that, I think what we've done is, so that people find it easy and they find it convincing, we've introduced a new thing to this whole report. And I would love to actually present my screen and take you through one of the flows. If you don't mind, I'll just share my screen. Yeah. So I'll just share my screen, and let me take you to the website where it is hosted. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
I am able to see your screen. And for the listeners and viewers, you can also follow the ticker at the bottom of the YouTube live, or the link in the YouTube video to take you to this exact page where you can sign up and get your own LvLUP report. Bhaskar, over to you.
Thank you. As you can see, we wanted to make this process entirely super easy for anyone to follow. So, what we now have is completely try now for free. So all you need to do is just click here on the button, and what you're seeing is live site. So all you need to do is upload your CV. And I'm assuming most of us would have some skeleton of a CV. So I can just upload my CV. So, for the purpose of this webinar, I'm actually using my son's CV. And we'll try and see what all information does this whole process contain for my son.
Yeah. So and it's very interesting that Bhaskar, you brought about the point of the CV. For obviously working professionals, they have a CV handy, right? They have a CV in their back pocket, as we usually say, every day. But even for people who don't have CV or have not created a CV, LvLUP site offers you the chance to build your own CV. It uses AI and some prompts to build your own CV. So even if you don't have a CV handy, you can use LvLUP to build your own CV. Bhaskar, over to you.
Yeah.
Can you show the screen again?
Yeah, just give me a moment. I'll just empty my cache. I think I was facing some problem.
Yeah, and as we saw, once you upload your CV, the CV is parsed, analyzed, and a structure is created immediately. So it's very quick to generate the freemium report, as we call it. It's not the full report. For users who want to try out LvLUP, they can do it for free, see what the report is like, see the different sections, and get a flavor of what's in store for them.
Yeah. Let me just quickly sign in. Just allow me one moment.
Sure. And I think while Bhaskar is signing up for LvLUP, obviously we are protecting his credentials so that that doesn't get circulated. But for the viewers and listeners on this YouTube Live, LvLUP, the freemium version is available for free. You can simply go onto the website. The link would be in the description of the video. You can try LvLUP for free, load your CV, get a part of the report for free, absolutely. And then if you think that this is something that can add value to you and your career, please go ahead and make the purchase, complete the registration, and your entire LvLUP report would be generated. And as Bhaskar and I were discussing, the LvLUP report is extremely comprehensive, and we bring it to you at a very attractive pricing, which we'll talk about later. And for the listeners and viewers of the session here today, there's a special discount code that you can use after the session is completed. You'll get the discount code, and you can use that to get an additional discount for the LvLUP report as well. Take the report, give us your feedback. We'd love to understand how the LvLUP experience is for you, and we're sure it's going to help you.
Yeah, just allow me one moment. I'm facing some problem. Subid, I think let's carry on with the questions. We'll come back to the live form once again. I think there is some error on my side that is preventing
No worries.
me from...
If you want, Bhaskar, I can share my screen as well.
Yeah, if you can do that, that'll be great.
Sure. Let me go to the same link. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I think, Bhaskar, as you were saying, this is where you can simply try the LvLUP for free. In less than 10 minutes, you get all these amazing things, including your career path, personalized job matches, real-time market insights, AI-ready career planning. And this is something that's extremely important in today's day and age, where AI and Gen AI are threatening traditional careers and traditional roles. So it gives you a real-time understanding of what skills that you possess today are at risk of being automated by AI. So extremely valuable. And then to bridge that gap, to make yourself AI proof, what are the certain learning courses that you can take to make yourself more adaptable to the changing world? So let me go ahead and click the LvLUP report. And as you can see, you can unlock the full report at $299. I'm going to come to that in a moment. You have the role progression analysis, the skills assessment, and Bhaskar, maybe you're the right person to talk about the freemium part, and then we can dive into the full report once I download it.
Yeah, so Subid, the idea was that, for those who are right now watching this webinar and you're not certain if this is enough value or not, then, by virtue of generating this report for free, you are able to see what is the kind of value I will get. And then only if you're convinced that, yes, this is value, you go ahead and make the payment. So if you look at the table of contents, this is how the report is going to look like. So if you see in this particular instance, there is one future career mapping, which is about the track of a chief revenue officer. However, every report has 5 possible career options.
Yeah.
So what we are saying is that you are able to see the career map for a chief revenue officer. If this is of interest and you want to see the other 4 options as well, then you make the payment and look at the full report. That's the whole idea. So you will get something out of the report, even in its present shape. But if you want a deeper dive, then you got to make the payment and download the full report. Otherwise, it stays on the screen.
Yeah, and for the people who are watching this live, obviously this is my own personal LvLUP report. As you can see, I'm in the domain of SaaS and HR technology, B2B sales. So it summarizes my career, my different work experience, and then it sort of gives me a view of where I am today, what was the foundation phase of my career, what was my growth phase, and what is the phase which is leadership that I'm in today. And then obviously it talks about other things which are not available in the freemium version. You can obviously unlock it to look at your full report, but it gives you skill assessment, it gives you breakup of your technical skills, soft skills, leadership skills, all of that is there. And I'll obviously let Bhaskar take you through this report in detail. Bhaskar, would you want me to open up the full report?
I think that will be ideal. So as I said, you're able to see some part of the report even without making the payment. But if you want to do a deeper dive, obviously a payment is required. And right now, as Subid said, for everyone who's looking at this webinar, you have a promo code right now running, which allows you a special 10% off. If you go ahead, grab this promo code and use that in the payment screen, you'll be able to get a 20%, 10% off straight away. So yeah, so with let's do that, and let's unlock the report and see what it means for a user.
Yeah.
And while Subid is making the payment to unlock this report, there have been lots of instances where when people were looking at generating their own report, they were very anxious. And I think what we've understood from a psychological perspective is that everyone thinks that what kind of surprise is it going to throw.
Yeah.
And I think it is that anxiety that we are trying to address through LvLUP. One important thing that I think we did not address at the start was that apart from the fact that there is a lot of information that people want around careers, there is one more area, Subid, which is impacting everyone. And I'm certain people who are looking at this webinar would agree with me. There is this lot of noise that you see these days on any media that you pick up. So whether it is news, whether it is newspapers, whether it is social media, whether it is LinkedIn, you go to any place and you will not miss reading some or the other article or news clip around the fact that AI and automation are changing the whole landscape of jobs. And I'm certain you would have heard about various videos about the fact that people are claiming that AI is going to take away a lot of jobs, skills are going to become redundant, and there is a general element of anxiety that everyone has.
Yeah.
I think that is another very important and critical area that we are trying to address through LvLUP. A
Yeah.
lot of users said that, look, boss, we already know that AI and automation is going to change the landscape of jobs. But
Yeah.
if you really want to help us understand what it can do for us at an individual level, at someone who's right there on the ground.
Yeah.
How is AI going to change my life?
Yeah.
How am I likely to get impacted with this onslaught? Am I getting impacted or not? I don't even know that.
Yeah.
A lot of users I have spoken to say that they initially felt that AI, automation, all this crap is only meant for techies. I
Yeah.
mean, that used to be the first statement that all these young people would make. But when they start looking at their own report, which we generate through LvLUP, they very soon actually realize, and I've had discussions with people where they've actually gone to the extent of saying that, you know what, your report has actually swept the carpet right from under my feet.
Yeah.
And I had not imagined this. And very very interesting insights, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But
And I think,
what I'm trying to say is that the product can also help people understand what is the impact that AI and automation can have on their present skills, on their present jobs, and
absolutely.
how should they navigate that challenge, how should they mitigate those risks. I think that
Absolutely.
is another important area that we're trying to say. And you very rightly brought that section on the screen, which is the AI impact analysis. And
Yeah.
as one of our co-founders says, skills assessment is just like a blood test.
Mhm.
Every few
Yeah.
months you should take a blood test. In the same way, the skill assessment actually tells you what kind of skills you have.
Yeah.
Now, someone might say that, how are you doing that skill assessment? So, Subid, we use very complex algorithms which read the skills basis the information that a user provides on the resume that is uploaded. So, we have been working in this space, in this domain for last 7-8 years. So we understand the skills taxonomy, we have our own skills cloud, and therefore we are able to interpret roles and what kind of skills that each role takes. And that is how we are able to project the kind of skills a person possesses. So
Yeah.
once we've done a skill assessment, now how do we link that in level up is that based on the skill assessment. So if you just scroll down a little more, Subid,
Hmm.
you'll
Yeah.
reach the skill analysis. Just go to the next section. So
Yes.
uh, yeah, so if you look at the skill assessment, it basically tries to break down your skills into three buckets: technical skills, soft
Hmm.
skills, and leadership skills. These are all skills that the program picks up from the resume which a user uploads. So based on that, it has picked up these skills. So one is that it is able to give you information about what kind of key skills you have. I'm sure
Yeah.
as a user you already know about this, but I have also found a lot of people who are surprised that they had not listed their own skills in this great depth. So
Yeah.
one, it does a blood test, and then it follows that blood test by also telling out of these skills which are the skills which are most likely to be impacted by AI and automation. I think that becomes the next follow-up section of this.
Yeah.
So if you
I
can
think. I
just
think
move to the next section, Subit.
one thing that
If you
actually
can
was
just scroll
very.
down a little.
Bhaskar, can you hear me? Bhaskar, am I audible to you?
Yeah. So here you see, Subit, what it is trying to do is now out of all the skills that it has analyzed for you, it will now try to tell you what skills of yours are in risk. So it has identified 24 skills for you, Subit. And out of these 24 skills, it is telling you that 8 of your skills are in critical risk category. There are similar number of skills in moderate risk, and there are few areas which are low risk. Now how should a person interpret this? There are two things that you need to understand for interpretation and how you should act on that interpretation. One is you clearly need to understand that, you know gone are the days when you could avoid this question by simply saying that, AI and automation is only for techies. And I'll give you a very interesting anecdote here, Sumit. So I was talking to one person who works for a very leading uh, consulting firm. So we were having this discussion on, you know, do you think that AI is going to impact you? And that person said, no, this is meant for techies. I'm not in a technical role, and therefore I don't think AI is going to impact me. I said, fair enough. So we went ahead and generated that person's level up report. And when that person reached the AI analysis section, Subid, high risk, the first set which was there on the screen was presentation skills, and it was 90%. And that person looked at that screen and it was like this. And I asked that person after 2 minutes that what happened. So he said that, I'm looking at the screen and something is coming to my mind. So I said, do you mind, can you share that? It'll be interesting to understand what is going on in your head. So the person said that, look, the company where I work, I am one of the best persons to do presentations for my team, and my boss would always come to me. All the presentations by default would come to me. I said,
Yeah.
fair enough. So what's the problem? So he says that, you know what, earlier I used to take about 2 to 3 days every time whenever he would come with this kind of a request. I would do proper research, I would do iterations, and then my final presentation would be submitted. And he would call out my name in a group of people and say that, this guy has done wonderful job. So I said, okay, so now what is the problem? So he says that, you know what, last 2 months or so, I've been using Chat GPT. And I started smiling. And I said, okay, then what? So he says that, now when he gives me a presentation to work on, it takes me only half an hour because I just go to ChatGPT, I put a prompt,
Yeah.
and then it generates the entire deck. So all my work on doing research, etc., is completely gone. And I was smiling and I said, okay, then what? And he says, when I am now reading all those 7 areas which are high risk for me, critical
Yeah.
risk for me, I'm realizing that while I was always under the impression that AI and automation is only for techies, it is already changing my life.
Yeah.
Out of 20-30 skills that I had, 7-8 are already critically impacted. So I
Yeah.
wonder, when will my boss one day walk into my desk and say that, if you are not upskilling, then why do we need you? We can get all these things done from ChatGPT. I think that realization
Yeah.
is what we want to bring to people, that AI and automation is going to impact everyone.
Yeah. And I think one thing that you
You're
very
on mute,
rightly said,
Subid.
Bhaskar, I don't think you can hear me.
Uh, no, I can't hear you.
All right. Can Manak or somebody confirm if I'm audible?
Can't hear.
Okay. So Manak is saying he can hear me. But let me just take a moment and then Bhaskar, you can pick
No.
it up. So what I am,
Menak, can you help? I think we again are stuck with some audio issues.
yeah. So what I wanted to quickly add here is, while the AI impact analysis is extremely eye-opening for many professionals who thought their careers were immune to AI because they are not in the tech field. I saw that myself, where I saw certain skills that can be automated, will be automated, and it did give me mitigation strategies. But it also made me realize that I need to focus on other skills which are not easily impacted by AI. And I was very happy to see that there are certain skills like client relationship management, stakeholder management, team leadership. These are some of the skills which will not get as much impacted by AI. So that was good to see. And what kind of mitigation strategies are there, I think that was also taken care of. So Bhaskar, back to you. If you want to spend some time talking about the transferable skills versus specialized skills and the career pathing after this, I think that will be great.
Okay, so Sumit, we are on the transferable versus specialized skills. Now, again, the objective of Level Up is not to further scare you. I think all it is trying to do is offer you reassurance. So, in case there is a role, there is a skill which is likely to be impacted by AI and automation, it is also trying to tell you what are the other transferable skills that you possess as an individual which can be useful for other industries. So, in case you are in an industry where AI and automation is going to impact, then you can look at other options as well. So if you look at transferable skills for Subid, for example, in his case, it says he has 69% transferable skills. Now, basically, in Level Up's parlance, transferable skills are those skills which can be applied in any industry. So, for example, ability to lead a team is a transferable skill. It applies to Subid's present job as well. And even if he moves to another domain in a different industry, there also the same skill will be equally valuable. So all we are trying to tell is that we are all a package of various transferable skills versus specialized skills. And if there are transferable skills which can apply in other industry scenarios, we are trying to give you that insight. So if you move slightly, scroll down, Subid, you'll see we are trying to tell you, yeah, go down. So you will see what transferable skills that Subid has and what all industries does it apply to. So if you look at the transferable skills analysis, you go slightly down. Yeah, go down. Okay, now if you see in leadership management bucket, it says Subid has skills in enterprise sales leadership, and it is also saying that these skills apply in technology, these skills apply in SaaS, these skills apply in consulting, these skills are equally valid in financial services and educational technology. So the idea is pick up the skills which can find relevance in other industries in case you are impacted, and in case you want to call your specialized skills into play, so that you are able to remain safe, you are able to dodge this bullet of AI and automation uh, job. So that's what this section is trying to do. Then if you also scroll slightly down, Subit, you will find another very interesting section which is about your key differentiators. Now again, the idea is that whatever AI and automation is trying to do, all of us have very unique differentiators that we bring to the table because of whatever background we bring to the table, whatever work we have done, whatever kind of knowledge we've picked up while studying. So it is also going to try and tell you what are your key differentiators. Now, it is important that we all realize that, all this noise around AI and automation impacting jobs is going to be there. But beneath that noise, we have to understand and make sense out of this. So here we are trying to talk about what kind of important things that Subid brings to the table, which are his key differentiators. And Subid, interestingly, a lot of mid-career professionals and senior professionals I've spoken to say that when they
Yeah.
look at this section on your key differentiators, it actually helps them prepare very well for that golden question that any employer has, that why should we hire you.
Yeah.
And they say that this actually presents our candidature in a very different light that we had not so far thought about. So if you see, and anyone who's generating their own level up report would be the best judge. But I have so far found everyone who's read this section saying that it picks up every small piece of information that you supplied to uh, this tool while generating your report, and it actually projects that back in this section.
And
Okay,
I think,
let's look
and I
at
think,
this
uh,
section, which is the career mapping. So in the original flow, you will see one career map which is presented to you, and then based on that career map, you can decide if you want to make payment and look at all the career maps. So let's look at this particular report and understand what does this career mapping mean for everyone. So if you can just scroll, so there are these 5 career maps which are presented for Subid. It can be an HR technology executive, it can be an enterprise SaaS leadership, it can be a chief revenue officer, entrepreneurship and venture development, and chief operating officer. These are the 5 options that LvLUP is presenting to Subid. This is based on the understanding that the LvLUP tool has gained from the profile that Subid has uploaded. So if you see, the first part is in the HR technology executive track, it is saying Subid has the highest success probability of 85%, and therefore this tool recommends that Subid should pursue this track because it has highest success probability. Now, for a lot of people, while there is a aspirational career that they all have in mind, but they don't know what is the route to that career aspiration. So here, if Subid wants to become a HR technology executive, then this is the route that it presents to Subid, which is head of business development, followed by VP of HR technology solutions, followed by chief revenue officer, followed by chief product officer. And it is also trying to tell what are the success factors and what are going to be key challenges. Now, these are basically success factors why Subid will find higher degree of success if he were to choose this track. So it says some reasons it gives, and it also says what are going to be key challenges for Subid if he were to move on this track. Now, another important insight which a lot of users wanted was that, okay, career track is good, but I also want to know, how much moolah can it make? Because I'm sure everyone is interested in this question in some form or
Sure.
the other. So
Yeah.
therefore, we're trying to also address this part to give you some kind of a estimation in terms of what would the remuneration look like in that particular track. So if he was to become a VP of HR technology and then move to becoming a chief revenue officer and then to become a chief product officer, how will the salary progression happen? And we are also trying to understand base salary, equity, and then bonus. Some of this applies to various industries, some industries it doesn't apply. But the fact is that it gives you some idea about that particular track. It also tells you why that progression is going to happen. So there are growth factors and there are challenges. So if you just scroll down, it will tell you what are the growth factors, why you are likely to get those kind of salaries, and what are some challenges that sector faces. So it is important that you also understand these things before you decide on the particular career track to take. Another very interesting thing, Subid, which a lot of professionals these days want to know is what is uh, it that you can tell us about work-life balance analysis. So
Yeah.
money is good, but then what happens to my personal life? Is there work-life balance analysis that you have factored in? So we've also tried to factor that into account. It tells you typically what kind of work hours are you required to put in this track. We've also created a work-life balance score in this. So gives you all important insight that you will need. It also tells you skill gap analysis. So in this track, if you look at the spider web, so the inside spider web, which is the yellow orange one, is your current level of skills, and the blue one is the required level in this particular track. And therefore it tells you on what all aspects what is the shortage of skills, and it also tells you how you should prioritize which skills to pick up. So if you go down, and it clearly tells you at each level what all additional skills would you be required to bring in on the table. So when you become a VP of HR technology solutions, what skills are needed
Sure.
to becoming a chief product officer, and how should you prioritize your skill development in all these areas.
No, this
In
is
all,
abs-
I would say, there's hardly anything which is left which this product is not trying to address
Yeah.
for the users. It
Yeah. I
even
think
goes to the extent of giving you CV optimization tips. How should you optimize your CV so that you are able to find jobs? In fact, Subid, for you, luckily, this is also telling you some job postings
yeah.
based on these requirements, this track. So these are all live roles. So you know that whatever recommendation it is making, there are live roles behind it. It is also giving you some course recommendations. So you know what kind of skill development pieces you can pick up. So in the same way, it will talk about the remaining 4 tracks as well. I'll take a
Brilliant.
pause here.
Yeah.
Happy to answer any questions.
I think this is brilliant, and obviously for certain technical reasons, instead of Bhaskar's son's profile, I got to share mine, and it was really eye-opening. I had read this report before, but I think when Bhaskar, you took the time to explain each section as to how this report needs to be uh, read, understood, consumed, and then actioned, I think that was really very helpful. I think what I would like to do, Bhaskar, is sort of get an understanding from you uh, about this report and how somebody can customize it to their requirements. So, for example, we got some questions. For example, I'll take one question, right? The question here was, uh,
Subid, I'm still not able to hear. Maybe let's pick up some user questions.
yeah,
I can see there are a lot of chat questions which are coming up. So
I
let's try
wanted to
and
pick
pick
this
up some of
question up
them.
for you. Yeah, this question, Bhaskar, is somebody wants to switch from domain A to domain B, from let's say marketing to product management. How would LvLUP benefit them?
Okay, so let's look at the first question. A user has asked, how is LevelUp different from traditional career assessment tools? Okay, interesting question. So I'm not a career consultant, but I can tell you, the philosophy on which LvLUP was built. Uh, as I said earlier, we are trying to address two challenges. One was around career options. So based on the limited understanding that people had, they wanted to understand what kind of career choices are possible. So we were trying to address that. And the second part was largely around this huge myth around AI automation taking away jobs. So these are two core areas that we're trying to address with a lot of information which is going to be very, very useful for users. Now, how is it different from traditional career assessment tools? The entire basis of this LvLUP is the uh, resume that a user feeds in. So as much information that you are able to provide to the tool, it uses that in its complex algorithm which runs behind it to throw all this information to a user. So if you like playing a guitar, if you like traveling, ensure that you put all these details while you're inputting your information. So as you had said, a lot of this information is not captured in a resume. So you can also go and use the AI powered resume where interests, areas like projects that you have done are all allowed to be inputted, because all of this is used by this tool to throw back options which could be likely options and feasible options for a user. I think that is something which I haven't come across in any other tool so far. So to my
Sure.
mind, that is how it is different from traditional career assessment tools.
Great. So the second question, Bhaskar, is somebody wants to switch from marketing to product management. How would LvLUP help him or her?
Yeah. So I think you're referring to the second question, which is, if someone wants to switch from marketing to product management. So, an interesting thing is that when you are trying to generate the report, it asks you certain questions. So, apart from the resume, it also allows you to input, if there is a dream career option that you have in mind, you can input that. It also allows you to put if you have any location preference. Now I'll tell you why these two questions are very important. So if you say that your location preference is New York in United States of America, then what it will do is it will tell you career options which are feasible in New York area in US, and it will tell you the salary ranges also in US dollars, because it's important that you look at it from the prism of the market where you want to work. In the same way, if you were to say, I want to become a chief executive officer, then it will scan your present skills and it will try to justify if that map is possible for you or not. And if it is not possible, then it will try to take you to the closest possible of that map. So that's the reason why I say I can't answer this question whether what would LvLUP recommend for a person who wants to switch from marketing to product management. That I think LvLUP can do very well. But all I'm trying to say is that there is a science behind it. If you input the right information, it will throw back very lovely information about how that switch is going to be feasible and how will that look like.
Great. No, and thank you so much. There are a couple
Okay,
of questions which
I think
I'll
yeah.
take a stab to answer. So there was one question around how long does it take to generate a typical complete LvLUP report? So as you saw from the live demonstration, uploading your CV takes less than a minute, and then your freemium report is generated maybe in another minute. So about under 2 minutes, your freemium report is generated. And once you complete the payment, then your complete report is available within the next couple of minutes as well. So overall, anything between 4 to 5 minutes is what you can typically expect. But in some cases, if your report is pretty voluminous, as you saw was mine, which was about 111 pages, it might take a little longer to load. So just be patient. You will get your full LvLUP report in less than 5 minutes. The second question was, is there a free trial or demo version available? Yes, of course. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there is a freemium version which you can try out for free. If you find value in the report that you see in the freemium version, you can go ahead and purchase the next report. What I'm going to do is I am going to give Bhaskar one more question. These questions that have come from our users. Let me give this question to Bhaskar. So Bhaskar, this question has come. Can level up work for people who've had non-linear career paths or career breaks? What would you say?
So let's pick up the next question, Subid, which is, is there a free trial or demo version available? So like we were discussing, there is a new flow that we have introduced recently on the product, which actually allows a person to, instead of paying directly, first try the product for free. And as I was explaining at the initial start, you can look at your report and then decide whether you want to pay for that report or not. Of course, you will not be able to see the full report. There will be limited parts of the report that you'll be able to see. But needless to say, these are all interesting aspects, important things that you will learn about your candidature in terms of what kind of career possibilities exist, what are some of your skills which are likely to be impacted by AI. And therefore, you can decide whether this information is making sense and then decide to pay for it and download the full report. How long does it take to generate a complete level up report? I think as Subid generated a report, it takes less than a minute. You just have to upload the resume, and in case there are any additional information pieces that you want to provide, you have to provide that, and it takes about a minute for the report to get generated.
Perfect. And thank you so much, Bhaskar, for answering those questions. There was one more, I think, which Bhaskar missed, which was, can level up work for people who've had non-linear career paths or career breaks? Absolutely. Once you upload your CV, even if it has career breaks, even if you had a non-linear career, the level up tool takes all of that into account. It takes into account where you are today in your career and where you want to be tomorrow. And with all of those inputs, the algorithm recommends something very, very particular and specific for you, catered to you, curated for you, including the learning recommendations, including the jobs that it brings to you. So I think we are at the hour mark almost. So what I will quickly do is just to sum up, the conversation that Bhaskar and I have had so far. LvLUP is a fantastic tool which works like the career GPS of opportunities for you. It looks at your skill sets. It recommends the skills that are transferable, that are specific. It talks about your impact of AI on your current skill sets and on your career, and what kind of mitigation tactics you can use. And it gives you enough resources to do that as well. So if this session has been useful to you, do leave a comment, do leave your feedback for us. We would love to hear your feedback. Go ahead and generate your level up report. This level up report, as Bhaskar said, is available in a freemium model, and then a full report is available once you pay $299. There is a free code that our colleague Menak has put up on the screen. There's a level up 1010 level up 10 code, which gives you a further 10% off on this particular level up report for people who are watching this webinar or listening to this session. So if you are, if this session was useful, please come and join the Subid WhatsApp group, the Subid community. All the links are in the description of the video. And finally, I think we will be remiss if we don't give a vote of thanks to Bhaskar, who has been extremely patient in taking us through the report, explaining the nuances, and answering all our questions patiently. So thank you so much, Bhaskar. And then there is Menak, our colleague, who's been behind the scenes in managing this entire webinar. So thank you, Menak. So Bhaskar, would love to hear you close this, summarize it, and let us know what's in store for our viewers and listeners.
Yeah, I would just like to end this webinar by telling everyone out there that you should go ahead and sign up for LvLUP. I can assure you, I have spoken to thousands of users so far, and everyone has found it to be extremely useful. And I can tell you that this report is going to be very, very insightful. It will give you a lot of food for thought, and it will actually allow you to future proof your career, as we like to call it. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And you all have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, Bhaskar. And it's been a pleasure listening to you, sharing this wonderful tool with our viewers and listeners. And hope everybody gets to try it, take the next big step in their careers. The AI impact is real. So Level Up is in your corner to protect you against this AI impact on the careers and skills. So with that, I think we'll close the session today. Thank you, everybody who tuned in live. Thank you so much for the comments. We had some fantastic encouraging comments from Hitesh and Vinayak and Unnati. So thank you so much for tuning in. This video is going to be on our YouTube channel. Please feel free to check it out. Use the links, use the discount code, and level up today. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great week ahead. We'll close the session here today.